The gentle evening breeze caressed the imposing facade of Clara Thompson's house, a three-story residence overlooking the vast ocean in San Diego, California. At 78 years old, Clara enjoyed the solidity that life had provided her. Her successful career as an executive had afforded her a life of comfort and luxury, but the solidity of her wealth did not fill the emptiness she felt inside. Inside the house, Clara was sitting in a comfortable armchair in the living room, watching the waves break in the distance through the large windows. Despite the elegant surroundings and the sophisticated artwork adorning the walls, Clara felt incomplete. She had no close family or intimate friends with whom to share her days. Her gaze lingered on an old photograph on one of the furniture pieces. It was a picture of her youth, where she looked radiant, surrounded by work colleagues at a party. Memories of a more vibrant and lively time flooded her mind. Now, loneliness seemed to be a constant companion. It was then that the phone rang, breaking the silence. Clara answered with a soft, yet weary tone. "Hello, Clara," said the voice on the other end of the line. Her trusted physician, Dr. Matthews. "How are you feeling today?" "Good morning, Dr. Matthews," Clara replied. "I'm feeling a bit tired, but nothing I can't handle. Just one of those mornings when the loneliness feels heavier." "I understand," Dr. Matthews said with empathy. "I'd like to schedule a visit to review your tests, but the reason I'm calling now is to let you know we have a new nurse available. His name is Alex Johnson." "Nurse?" Clara repeated, intrigued. "I didn't know you were looking for someone." "Yes, I was. He comes highly recommended and has a very compassionate approach to care. He might bring some companionship and comfort to your days." Clara hesitated for a moment, but the idea of having someone to talk to and take care of her needs appealed to her. "All right, Dr. Matthews. I'll accept the help. I hope he can make a difference." The next morning, Alex Johnson arrived at Clara's residence, carrying a small bag of medical supplies and a warm smile. He was a 35-year-old man with brown hair and blue eyes that reflected genuine kindness. He was greeted by Clara at the door. "Good morning, Clara," Alex said, extending his hand. "I'm Alex Johnson, your new nurse. I'm here to help with whatever you need." Clara looked at him, assessing the man before her. "Good morning, Alex. Thank you for coming. Please, come in. I'll show you where you'll be staying." As they walked through the house, Clara made a conscious effort to be hospitable. "You can start in the master bedroom, where I've been spending most of my time lately. If you need anything, don't hesitate to let me know." Alex observed the luxurious details of the house with some awe. "It's a beautiful home, Clara. I want to make sure you're as comfortable as possible here." Over the days, Clara and Alex began to develop a relationship that extended beyond medical care. Alex was attentive, patient, and always made sure to listen to Clara, not just as a patient, but as a person. In a particularly intimate moment, as Alex adjusted Clara's pillow, he asked, "Clara, what did you used to do when you were younger? You must have many interesting stories." Clara smiled, recalling more vibrant times. "Oh, I worked a lot and traveled even more. I attended events and met many people. Sometimes, I find myself thinking about how much easier it was to find company back then." Alex, interested, encouraged her to continue. "Tell me more about those travels. Maybe we can plan some activities for you to enjoy now, even if it's just in small doses." "That would be wonderful," Clara replied, her tone showing a glimmer of hope. "I think it would help me feel a bit less lonely." Alex began dedicating himself not just to Clara's physical care, but also to her emotional companionship. As they spent time together, Clara started to realize that, even though her life was nearing its end, there was still room for new connections and meanings. And so began the unexpected journey that would connect Clara and Alex in ways neither of them could have imagined. The sun was starting to set over the San Diego horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. In Clara Thompson's living room, the twilight filtered a soft light through the silk curtains. Clara was seated in her favorite armchair, wrapped in a wool blanket, while gazing out at the ocean. The waves moved with a calm that contrasted with the whirlwind of thoughts accompanying her. Days went by, and despite Alex's presence, Clara felt loneliness creeping in with increasing intensity. Alex was always there, but the pain of her solitude did not dissipate with simple daily care. She began to wonder about the choices she had made throughout her life and how those choices had led her to this point. That afternoon, Alex walked into the room, pushing a small cart with medical supplies. He was attending to Clara's small needs, but noticed that something was different in the atmosphere. There was a weight in the air, and Clara seemed particularly distant. "Hello, Clara," Alex said as he approached her. "How are you today?" Clara turned her head slowly to face him, with a thoughtful expression. "Hello, Alex. Well, I'm thinking about a lot of things. Sometimes I feel like life gave me everything I asked for, but at the same time, it took something very important away." Alex noticed the melancholic tone and decided to sit beside her, rather than just performing his usual tasks. "What do you mean by that? Feeling this way is more common than you might think." Clara sighed, looking at the waves. "I lived a life full of work and success, traveled to many places, met many people, but in the end, here I am, alone, with no one to share those memories. Sometimes I wonder if it was all worth it." Alex listened attentively, understanding that Clara was seeking more than just superficial conversation. "Don't you think that the people you met and the experiences you had have value in themselves, even if you don't have anyone to share them directly with?" Clara thought for a moment, fidgeting with the folds of her blanket. "Maybe, but it's hard not to feel a void when all you have are memories. The people you shared those moments with are no longer here." "That's true," Alex agreed. "But you still have the ability to make a difference now. And even though the past can't be changed, the present still offers a chance to create new meanings." Clara looked at him with a mixture of surprise and gratitude. "You always know what to say, Alex. Sometimes, I feel like you understand me more than I understand myself." Alex smiled softly. "I try. After all, it's my job not only to care for you physically, but also to offer emotional support. If you want to talk about your experiences or just need someone to listen, I'm here." Alex's words brought unexpected comfort to Clara. She smiled faintly, touching Alex's hand in a gesture of thanks. "You know, I used to keep journals when I was younger. Maybe I should try that again. It might help me sort out my thoughts." "That sounds like a great idea," Alex said encouragingly. "Writing can be a powerful way to process feelings and reflect on life. If you need any help getting started or someone to talk to about what you write, I'll be here." Over the following days, Clara took Alex's advice. She began writing in a journal she had found in a drawer of her writing desk. Her pages started filling up with reflections on her life, her achievements, and, more importantly, her current emotions. This simple act brought her a sense of relief and a connection to something beyond loneliness. Alex, for his part, continued to offer his unwavering support. He engaged in deeper conversations with Clara, helping her explore her feelings and find some inner peace. In those moments, Clara realized that while her life had been marked by choices that led to solitude, there was still room to discover new paths and meanings. By sharing her thoughts and feelings with Alex, she found a way to reconnect with the deepest part of herself. The relationship between Clara and Alex continued to strengthen, bringing a new perspective and hope to both of them as they navigated the challenges and discoveries of their days together. The morning sun shone with a gentle intensity, illuminating the well-maintained gardens of Clara Thompson's home. Alex Johnson, the new nurse, arrived for his first day of work. He parked his car in front of the imposing entrance of the residence and looked around with a mix of admiration and expectation. It was a house that reflected Clara's success and lifestyle, but he knew that his job would be much more than just maintaining the elegance of the surroundings. Upon entering through the front door, Alex was greeted by a housekeeper, Mrs. Collins, a middle-aged woman with a kind smile. "Good morning, Alex. Clara is expecting you in the living room. She seems eager to meet you." "Good morning, Mrs. Collins. Thank you for the warm welcome," Alex replied, feeling a slight nervousness mixed with his determination to do a good job. When Alex entered the living room, Clara was reclining in a comfortable armchair, gazing out the window at the flower-filled garden. She turned her head when she heard footsteps, and her gaze met Alex's. He was a robust man with light brown hair and eyes that reflected sincere kindness. His presence seemed immediately reassuring to Clara. "Good morning, Clara," Alex said with a warm smile, extending his hand. "I'm Alex Johnson. I'm your new nurse. I'm here to help with whatever you need." Clara looked at the extended hand and shook it lightly. "Good morning, Alex. It's a pleasure to meet you. Please, come in and have a seat. I'll show you what you need to know." As Alex settled into a nearby chair, Clara gestured for him to follow her through the rooms of the house. "This is my bedroom," Clara said, pointing to an elegantly decorated room. "I've been spending a lot of time here, so you'll probably find a bit of my world in this space." Alex took in the room, noting the refined decor and arrangement of the furniture. "I see. It looks very comfortable and welcoming. I'll make sure you have everything you need to be comfortable." Clara nodded, but had a distant look in her eyes. "I appreciate that. You know, I've always worked a lot and spent most of my time devoted to my career. I didn't really focus much on the day-to-day things." "I understand," Alex said, recognizing the weight of Clara's words. "Life is a delicate balance, and sometimes it's easy to get lost in responsibilities. What's important now is that we're here to make sure you feel well and cared for." Clara smiled gratefully, and noticing that Alex was willing to listen, she began to open up a little more. "Alex, I'd like to know a bit more about you. What led you to choose this profession?" Alex moved a little closer, interested in sharing his story. "Well, I've always wanted to help people and make a difference in their lives. When I was younger, I took care of my grandmother during her last years. That taught me a lot about the importance of care and compassion. I decided I wanted to pursue this career to continue helping people in a meaningful way." Clara listened attentively, her eyes shining with newfound appreciation for Alex. "That's admirable. I've also worked hard to help others, but perhaps I was so focused on my work that I missed out on some opportunities for real connection." Alex smiled gently. "It's never too late to find new connections or strengthen the old ones. If there's anything you want to explore or anything I can help with, please let me know. I'm here for that." Over time, Clara began to notice Alex's comforting presence. He was always attentive, performing his tasks with precision, but also taking time for conversations that somehow filled a bit of the void Clara felt. One particularly clear morning, Alex made a suggestion. "Clara, how about we start including a bit more activity in your day? A short walk in the garden could be invigorating and also give you a chance to enjoy some fresh air." Clara hesitated, but Alex's encouraging look made her reconsider. "Do you think it could help?" "Absolutely," Alex replied. "And if it doesn't help, at least it will provide a pleasant moment and a bit of change in routine." With a conscious effort, Clara agreed. "Let's give it a try then." "Thank you, Alex." From that point on, small changes began to occur in Clara's life. Alex was not just a nurse, but a companion who brought a new perspective and energy to her life. He helped remind Clara that despite her choices and loneliness, there was still room for small joys and new experiences. The bond between Clara and Alex began to strengthen, and with it, Clara found new hope and a way to reconnect with the world around her. Thus, the beginning of Alex's journey with Clara not only marked a new chapter in her life, but also an opportunity to transform loneliness into something more positive and meaningful. The summer days in San Diego continued to be warm, and Clara Thompson's home was bathed in golden sunlight. The garden was in full bloom, and the fresh morning air made the leaves of the trees rustle gently. It was a tranquil morning when Clara, now more cheerful, found herself in the company of Alex Johnson during one of the daily walks they had recently started. Clara and Alex were walking through the garden, where the vibrant colors of the flowers contrasted with the rich green of the leaves. Clara was wearing a light dress and a straw hat, and Alex accompanied her with a watchful eye, always attentive to her needs. "You seem more cheerful today, Clara," Alex remarked as they strolled slowly along the stone path. "Yes, I am," Clara responded with a genuine smile. "These walks have been more refreshing than I expected. I think the fresh air really does make a difference." Alex smiled, pleased to see the positive impact of the changes in Clara's life. "I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes, small changes can have a big effect on our well-being. And it's not just about physical activity. It's about how we feel and how we view the world around us." Clara looked at Alex with renewed appreciation. "You really do care about my well-being, don't you? That's rare for someone who's just here to work." "I believe that caring for someone is more than just attending to their physical needs," Alex replied. "It's also about offering companionship and emotional support. If I can help make your days more enjoyable, then I'm doing my job as best as I can. As they talked, Clara began to open up more about her life and feelings. You know, Alex, I never thought much about the importance of the little things. I've always been so focused on achieving my goals that I didn't realize how it distanced me from people and the simple things that really matter. Alex listened attentively, sensing the sincerity in Clara's words. Sometimes, when we're so focused on our goals, we forget to appreciate the present and value the simple moments. It's a constant learning process to find that balance. I wish I had learned this earlier, Clara said, her tone tinged with a bit of sadness. If I had spent more time on these things, maybe I wouldn't feel so alone now. Alex gently placed a hand on Clara's shoulder. It's never too late to make changes. And what matters is that you're here now, trying to find new ways to enjoy life and connect with others. In the weeks that followed, Clara and Alex continued to strengthen their bond. They talked about many topics, ranging from Clara's memories of her youth to Alex's dreams and hopes for the future. Clara began to open her heart more and share personal details she had kept to herself for a long time. On one particularly pleasant afternoon, Clara was sitting in her living room, flipping through an old photo album she had found in one of the drawers. Alex entered the room and noticed what she was doing. Found anything interesting? Alex asked, approaching to see the photos. Clara looked up with a nostalgic expression. Yes, these are pictures from a trip I took to Europe many years ago. It was one of the most exciting times in my life. That sounds fascinating, Alex commented, looking at the images. What was your favorite place in Europe? Clara smiled, her eyes shining as she remembered the memories. Paris. The city had a magic that I've never found anywhere else. And these photos bring back so many good memories. Alex leaned in a bit closer to look at the photos. It must have been incredible to be there. And now, looking at these memories, how do you feel? Sentimental, Clara replied. It's strange how memories can be both a source of joy and sadness. They remind me of things I valued, but also of what I've lost along the way. Memories are important, Alex said. They help us understand who we are and where we come from. And while the past can't be changed, it can teach us to appreciate the present and create new memories. Clara looked at Alex with a new understanding. You're right, and I want to make the most of the time I have now, and that includes enjoying the moments I have with you. Alex smiled, touched by Clara's words. I'm here for that, to ensure you have meaningful and happy moments. Over time, the relationship between Clara and Alex evolved into something profoundly special. Alex was not just a caregiver, but someone with whom Clara could share her hopes, fears, and dreams. His presence brought a new sense of connection and purpose to Clara's life, and she began to feel that even in the final stage of her life, there was still room for new and valuable experiences. Thus, the bonds of affection between Clara and Alex continued to strengthen, demonstrating that sometimes the most unexpected encounters can bring the greatest changes and joys to our lives. Days passed, and summer gave way to autumn in San Diego. The leaves on the trees in Clara Thompson's garden began to change color, creating a vibrant carpet of warm hues. The house was decorated with a subtle touch of seasonal festivities, but the atmosphere inside was marked by a sense of introspection and reflection. Clara was seated in her favorite armchair, reading a book while the afternoon light streamed through the window. Alex Johnson entered the room, carrying a small stack of documents Clara had requested earlier. He had become not only a nurse, but also someone Clara deeply trusted. Good morning, Clara, Alex said, placing the documents on the table next to the armchair. I've got the papers you asked for. I was wondering if there's anything else I can help with today. Clara looked at the papers with a faint sigh. Alex, I really appreciate all the help you've given me. You've been a constant and comforting presence. Alex smiled, sitting down in the nearby chair. It's a pleasure to be here for you. What are these documents about? Clara hesitated for a moment, choosing her words carefully. Actually, they're related to my will. I feel that it's time to review and update some things, and I'd like you to be here to help me. Alex noticed the seriousness in Clara's tone and leaned in a little closer. Of course, I'm here for that. If you need any guidance or help, you can count on me. Clara handed a sheet to Alex. This is the most recent document. I've reviewed it, and made some important changes. I'd like you to take a look." Alex began reading the will attentively, his eyes moving over the written words with growing curiosity. When he finished, he looked at Clara with a surprised expression. "Clara, I see here that you've left your entire estate to me." Clara smiled sadly. "Yes, I decided that since I don't have close family or friends to share this with, you would be the person I'd like to leave my legacy to. You've been more than just a caregiver to me. You've been a true companion." Alex was silent for a moment, the magnitude of the revelation beginning to sink in. I don't know what to say, Clara. This is unexpected and very generous." "You don't need to say anything right now," Clara replied softly. "I just wanted you to know how much I appreciate everything you've done for me. And I hope that, by using this legacy, you can continue doing good for others, just as you've done for me." Alex felt a mix of emotions: surprise, gratitude, and a deep sense of responsibility. "I never expected anything like this, Clara. Your generosity is incredible, and I'm honored by it. I'll make sure that your legacy is used in a way that makes a difference, just as you've made a difference in my life." "I trust you," Clara said, with a look of relief and peace. "And besides that, I hope you find a way to enjoy life and create new memories. You deserve that." The moment of revelation was profound and impactful for both of them. Alex knew that the responsibility Clara was entrusting him with was not just about money, but about an emotional legacy and a chance to continue helping others. In the days that followed, Alex dedicated himself to reflecting on what this new responsibility meant to him. He began to consider how he could use Clara's inheritance to create a positive impact, perhaps by helping others in similar situations or investing in projects that would benefit the community. Meanwhile, Clara and Alex continued to make the most of the time they had together. Clara felt relieved to have finally made a decision about her will, and was at peace knowing that her inheritance would be used in a way that reflected her desire to do good. On a quiet afternoon, as they were sitting in the garden, Alex remarked, "You knew this was going to be an important day, didn't you? This inheritance is a significant part of your life, and I'm looking forward to making sure it's used in the best way possible." "I trust you," Clara responded, looking at the falling leaves around them. "And I believe that with your generous heart, you'll find the best way to honor my memory." With this mutual understanding and a deep sense of gratitude, Clara and Alex continued to share precious moments. The revelation of the will had added a new dimension to their relationship, deepening the bond that was already strong and providing both with a renewed sense of purpose for the future. The afternoon sun cast a warm glow over Clara Thompson's garden, which was beginning to prepare for the changing seasons. The flowers were wilting, but the memories of conversations and walks with Alex remained vivid in Clara's mind. Alex, in turn, had been deeply touched by the responsibility Clara had entrusted to him and was determined to honor this gift in a meaningful way. That afternoon, Alex was seated at the living room table, surrounded by documents and notes as he tried to sketch out a plan for how he could use Clara's inheritance to benefit others. Clara entered the room and found him so absorbed that she decided to interrupt with a gentle touch on his shoulder. "You're working hard, Alex," Clara observed, with a smile that conveyed both curiosity and concern. Alex looked up, surprised to see Clara. "Oh, Clara, I was just thinking about how I could use the inheritance to help others. It's a bit more complex than I imagined." Clara sat down in the chair next to him, curious. "How do you plan to do that?" "Well," Alex began, "I'm thinking of starting a foundation that could provide support to people in situations similar to yours. Maybe something that helps provide care and emotional support for those who are alone or have special needs." Clara listened attentively, admiring Alex's altruistic thought. "That sounds like a wonderful idea. And how are you planning to start?" Alex sighed and shook his head. "I'm still at the beginning stages of planning. I need to think about how to structure the foundation, what to include in our programs, and how to ensure the money is used in the best way." "Do you have any specific plans for the foundation?" Clara asked, eager to understand more. "Yes, I'm considering a few key areas," Alex replied. "I'd like to offer emotional support and temporary care for people going through tough times, as well as create a fund to help with medical expenses and other urgent needs." Clara smiled, touched by Alex's dedication. This is incredible, Alex. You're turning something so personal into something that can benefit many people. I think this is exactly what I'd like to see with my inheritance. Alex smiled back, feeling strengthened by Clara's support. I truly hope it makes a difference. But for that, I need your help. Maybe you can help me decide which aspects are most important to you and how we can ensure the resources are used effectively. I'd love to help, Clara replied, with a glint of determination in her eyes. I'll think of some ideas and discuss them with you. It's a way to make sure my inheritance has a positive impact. In the days that followed, Clara and Alex spent many hours discussing the details of the foundation. They talked about the types of services they could offer, how to identify those who needed help the most, and what the criteria for receiving support would be. Clara used her experience and wisdom to guide Alex, and he was deeply grateful for her input. During one of these conversations, Clara said, "I've always worked to achieve my own goals, but I never thought about how I could use those goals to help others. It's a powerful and freeing feeling to know that my inheritance can make a difference in someone's life." Alex looked at Clara with a respectful smile. "You're creating something lasting and meaningful, Clara, and your willingness to help others is truly inspiring." With Clara's support and suggestions, Alex began to structure the foundation. They decided to name it the Clara Johnson Foundation, in honor of Clara and the impact she hoped her inheritance would have. The work involved creating a detailed plan, legally registering the foundation, and developing partnerships with local organizations. As the project took shape, Clara began to feel a new sense of purpose and accomplishment. Although her health continued to be a concern, she felt revitalized by the prospect of leaving a legacy of compassion and care. On a particularly pleasant day, Clara and Alex were in the garden, discussing the next steps for the foundation. Clara turned to Alex and said, "You know, Alex, I never imagined I could feel so fulfilled, even knowing that my life is coming to an end. You've given me this opportunity, and I'm deeply grateful for it." Alex held Clara's hand with a sincere smile. "I'm also grateful to have had the chance to meet you and learn from you. Your strength and generosity are creating an impact beyond what I could have imagined." With these words, Clara and Alex felt that their destinies were intertwined in a deep and meaningful way. The foundation project was not just a way to use Clara's inheritance, but also a symbol of how kindness and compassion can transform lives and create lasting connections. The Clara Johnson Foundation began to take shape, and with it, Clara found new peace and satisfaction, knowing that her inheritance was being used to create a legacy of hope and care for those in greatest need. Autumn progressed, bringing with it a fresh crispness to the air and a sense of renewal to Clara Thompson's home. Alex Johnson and Clara were deeply involved in creating the Clara Johnson Foundation, and progress was being made. The work required a lot of effort and dedication, but both were excited about the vision they were bringing to life. That afternoon, Clara was sitting in her office, surrounded by documents and reports that Alex had prepared. Alex was reviewing some notes when Clara walked in, carrying a tray with tea and cookies. "I thought you might need a break," Clara said, placing the tray on the table. "You've been working so hard lately." Alex looked up, a bit surprised but smiling at Clara's thoughtful gesture. "Thank you, Clara. A break is definitely welcome. What do you think of the progress we've made so far?" Clara sat in the chair opposite him and picked up a cup of tea. "I'm very pleased. The foundation is starting to take shape, and the structure we're developing looks solid. But I still want to make sure we're heading in the right direction." Alex grabbed a cookie and took a bite. "I'm sure we are. Your vision and suggestions have been crucial in shaping the foundation. I've been working to ensure everything aligns with your wishes." "I know you're giving your best," Clara said with a grateful smile. "But I also want you to know that this is as important to me as it is to you. This foundation isn't just a project. It's a part of my legacy." "I understand," Alex replied, his tone full of respect. "And that's why I'm so committed to doing this the best way possible. I want your inheritance to have a lasting positive impact." As they talked, Clara began to feel a bit melancholic, reflecting on the changes in her life and the journey she had been on. "Alex, it's strange to think about how much my life has changed since you started working here. I went from being someone so focused on herself to someone who can leave a positive impact." Alex observed Clara's thoughtful expression. "Changes can be difficult, but they're also opportunities for growth and new beginnings. And you're doing something incredible with those opportunities. You're creating a legacy that will help many people. I hope so, Clara said, gazing out the window. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing enough, if I'm making the right decisions. You're doing more than enough, Alex assured her. You're giving others the chance to receive the support you wish you'd had. And that's a valuable gift. The conversation was interrupted by a phone call that Clara received. She answered and spoke for a few minutes, her demeanor brightening as she spoke with the caller. When she hung up, she looked at Alex with an expression of excitement. It was my lawyer, Clara explained. She confirmed that all the foundation's documents have been finalized, and now we can start the official launch. We're ready to unveil the foundation to the public. Alex smiled, sharing Clara's excitement. That's wonderful. We can now start making a tangible difference. Yes, Clara agreed. And I want to thank you, Alex. Without your help and dedication, none of this would have been possible. You've made my vision a reality. Alex stood up and approached Clara, his expression one of sincere appreciation. I just did my part. The real achievement comes from seeing the impact of your work and your legacy. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the foundation can accomplish. In the following days, Clara and Alex focused on the official launch of the Clara Johnson Foundation. They prepared a presentation for the community, organizing an event to introduce the foundation and its purpose. The event was a success, with friends, colleagues, and community members attending and showing interest in supporting the cause. Clara was moved to see the positive response from people. During the event, Alex gave a speech about the foundation's importance and its origins, highlighting the impact Clara had made on his life and on others. After the event, Clara and Alex were sitting in the garden, reflecting on the success of the launch. It was amazing to see so many people interested and supporting the foundation, Clara said with a satisfied smile. I feel like I'm finally doing something meaningful with my life. It was a wonderful event, Alex agreed. And I'm sure the foundation will continue to grow and help many people. I hope so, Clara replied with a tone of hope. And, regardless of what happens, I'm glad to have had the chance to contribute to something that can make a difference. As the sun set on the horizon, Clara and Alex were filled with a sense of accomplishment and hope. The foundation had become a reality, and Clara knew her legacy would continue to benefit many others in the future. Alex, for his part, felt a deep sense of pride and gratitude for being part of this journey. With the project underway and the foundation ready to make a difference, Clara and Alex were prepared to face whatever came next, knowing they had created something truly important that could transform lives for the better. Winter gently arrived in San Diego, bringing a crispness to the city and to Clara Thompson's home. The Clara Johnson Foundation was now fully operational, hosting events and providing support to those in need. Clara and Alex were immersed in managing the foundation, but Clara's health began to present new challenges. On a particularly cold and cloudy day, Clara was lying in bed, covered by a warm blanket. Alex was sitting beside her, reviewing some documents while Clara rested. The atmosphere was quiet, with only the occasional sound of the wind against the windows breaking the silence. Clara looked at Alex with a tired smile. Alex, how are things going with the foundation? Alex looked up and smiled. Things are going well. We're receiving a lot of support from the community, and the foundation is helping many people. Your legacy is truly making a difference. Clara sighed, her gaze becoming contemplative. I'm glad to hear that. But I also feel like time is passing so quickly. Sometimes I wonder if I've done enough. You've done more than enough, Clara, Alex replied, his voice full of sincerity. The foundation is proof of the impact you've had, and you're still making a difference every day. Clara closed her eyes for a moment, absorbing Alex's words. I know you've been a great support to me, Alex. Not just with the foundation. Your presence has been a real source of comfort. Alex leaned a bit closer. I'm here because I care about you, Clara, and I'm grateful for the chance to know you and learn from you. Clara opened her eyes and looked at Alex with gratitude. I'm grateful for you too. Sometimes it's hard for me to accept that my journey is coming to an end, but knowing that my inheritance is in good hands and that there are people like you making a difference brings me peace. Alex held Clara's hand gently. You can be sure that you'll continue to make a difference. The foundation will keep helping many people, and your impact will be felt for a long time. On a calm afternoon, Clara decided it was the right time to have a deeper conversation with Alex. "There's something I'd like to discuss with you," Clara began, her tone serious. "I've been thinking a lot about the future of the foundation and how you can continue the work we started together." Alex looked at her with concern. "What do you have in mind?" "I want to make sure you have all the support you need to carry the foundation forward," Clara explained. "And I'd also like to leave some guidance to ensure that the work continues according to my vision." Alex nodded, understanding the importance of what Clara was saying. "I'm listening, Clara. What would you like to share?" Clara picked up a notebook beside her and opened it, showing some notes and plans. "Here are some ideas and guidelines I'd like you to follow. These are things I consider important to ensure the foundation's ongoing success and its ability to help those in need." Alex looked at the notes attentively, admiring Clara's clarity and vision. "This is very helpful, Clara. I'll make sure these guidelines are followed and that your vision for the foundation is upheld." "Thank you, Alex," Clara said with a sigh of relief. "And beyond that, I want you to know how much you've meant to me, not just as a caregiver, but as a friend. Your presence has given me more than you can imagine." Alex stood up and approached Clara with a look full of affection and respect. "I feel equally grateful for having had the chance to be part of your life. And I promise I'll do everything I can to ensure that your foundation continues to thrive and help others." Clara nodded, feeling a sense of peace. "I trust you. And I know that even when I'm no longer here, my vision and legacy will live on through the work of the foundation." As winter continued its course, Clara and Alex spent their final days together, discussing the details of the foundation and enjoying quiet moments. Clara was growing increasingly frail, but her mind remained sharp and her spirit resilient. Finally, the day came when Clara felt ready to rest. Surrounded by comfort and peace, with Alex by her side, she took his hand, and he offered words of encouragement and support. "You've done a wonderful job, Clara. Your life and legacy have made a great difference, and I'll always be grateful to have known you." Clara smiled, her words soft and full of gratitude. "Thank you, Alex. I feel at peace, knowing everything is in good hands." And so, Clara Thompson said her final goodbye, leaving behind a legacy of hope and care. Her foundation would continue to impact lives and provide support, perpetuating the generosity and compassion she had nurtured. Alex, with a heavy heart but full of determination, continued working with the foundation, honoring Clara's memory and fulfilling the purpose of her legacy. As he faced challenges and celebrated achievements, he always remembered the incredible woman who transformed not only his life but the lives of many others. The first months following Clara Thompson's death were a period of transition for the Clara Johnson Foundation. Alex Johnson, now in the role of foundation leader, was deeply immersed in his new responsibilities, trying to balance ongoing operations with upholding Clara's legacy. Autumn gave way to winter, and the atmosphere at the foundation was one of focus and determination. On a cold January morning, Alex was in the foundation's conference room, reviewing reports and planning the next event. The room was filled with papers and documents, and the air was thick with the concentration of work. Sarah, a dedicated young assistant at the foundation, entered with an encouraging smile. "Good morning, Alex," Sarah said as she walked in with a folder of documents. "Here are the latest financial reports and updates on our ongoing projects." Alex looked up and smiled at her. "Thanks, Sarah. This helps keep everything organized. How are the foundation's activities going?" Sarah sat down next to Alex, opening the folder. "We're seeing an increase in the number of people seeking help. The temporary care and emotional support initiatives are being well received. Donations have also increased, which is great for our future projects." "That's great to hear," Alex said, scanning the documents. "I'm starting to plan the next big event to further promote the foundation and expand our reach. Any ideas or suggestions?" Sarah thought for a moment before replying. "How about a community event to celebrate the foundation's impact so far? We could invite those who have received support, community members, and even local partners to share stories and showcase what we've accomplished together." Alex smiled, impressed with the idea. "That sounds excellent. An event to highlight our impact and thank our supporters would be a great way to reinforce the foundation's mission." As they discussed the details, Alex received a message from an unknown number on his phone. Upon opening it, he saw an invitation to a conference on foundations and social impact. The conference would be an opportunity to learn from other foundation leaders and explore new ideas. Sarah, I just got an invitation to a conference on foundations and social impact. I think it would be beneficial for us to attend, Alex said, showing the invitation to Sarah. Sarah looked at the invitation with interest. That sounds like a great opportunity to learn and connect with other professionals in the field. I'll start making arrangements for us to attend. A few days later, Alex and Sarah traveled to the conference. The event was held in a stylish convention center, and Alex was excited about the chance to absorb new ideas and perspectives. During one of the lectures, he heard a speaker discuss innovative strategies for foundations and how to measure social impact effectively. After the lecture, Alex and Sarah attended a networking session where Alex met representatives from other foundations and nonprofit organizations. He took the opportunity to share the mission of the Clara Johnson Foundation and discuss potential collaborations. While talking to a representative from a senior support foundation, Alex mentioned, "Our foundation has focused on providing emotional support and temporary care for people in difficult situations. We're always looking for ways to expand our impact and find new partners." The representative smiled. "That's fantastic. We believe our organizations could benefit greatly from working together. We could explore a collaboration that helps reach more people and build an even stronger support network." "I'd love to explore that possibility," Alex replied, excited by the idea. "Let's schedule a meeting to discuss it in more detail." By the end of the day, Alex and Sarah returned to San Diego with new ideas and a renewed sense of purpose. The insights and connections made at the conference offered fresh perspectives and opportunities for the Clara Johnson Foundation. Back at the foundation, Alex gathered the team to share the findings from the conference. "Everyone, the conference was a success. We made excellent contacts and learned a lot about new approaches and strategies that can benefit our foundation." Sarah, enthusiastic, asked, "What are the next steps?" Alex smiled, looking at the team with new enthusiasm. "We're going to start implementing some of the ideas we learned. We'll also explore the potential collaborations we discussed. We have the chance to expand our impact and strengthen our mission significantly." As the Foundation's team prepared for the new challenges and opportunities, Alex reflected on the journey so far. Clara's presence was still felt in every corner of the Foundation, and the commitment to her legacy remained the driving force behind everyone's work. On a quiet evening, Alex sat in his office, looking at a photo of Clara on a shelf. "I hope you're proud of what we're doing, Clara," he murmured. "We're doing everything we can to honor your legacy and make a difference." With this renewed determination, Alex and the Clara Johnson Foundation team continued to move forward, facing challenges and celebrating achievements. Clara's impact was spreading, and the foundation was becoming a growing force for good, inspiring hope and providing support to those in greatest need. Summer had arrived in San Diego, bringing a warm and vibrant climate to the city. The Clara Johnson Foundation continued to thrive, with new initiatives underway and an expanding network of support. Alex Johnson was especially excited about the progress, but also knew it was time to reflect on the next steps for the foundation and prepare for a new phase. On a sunny July day, the foundation team gathered in the conference room for an important meeting. Alex had called the team together to discuss the results of recent initiatives and plan the foundation's expansion. Sarah, Maria, and other team members were present, eager to hear about the next steps. "Good morning, everyone," Alex began, with an animated smile. "I have some exciting updates to share. As you know, we've seen success with several initiatives in recent months, and now it's time to think about how we can grow even more." Sarah, with a notebook in hand, asked, "Alex, what are the main goals for this new phase?" "Great question," Alex replied. "We have two major priorities: expanding our existing programs and starting a new strategic partnership with local organizations. We also want to increase awareness of the foundation and engage more people in our cause." Maria, one of the program coordinators at the foundation, raised her hand. "How do you plan to expand our programs?" "We're considering opening new support centers in areas we haven't yet reached," Alex explained. "Additionally, we want to diversify our services to include more types of support, such as training workshops and community events. For that, we'll need more resources and a dedicated team. Sarah, with an interested look, asked, "And what about the partnerships? How are you planning to approach them?" "We've had some preliminary discussions with organizations that share our vision," Alex responded. "We're planning to formalize these partnerships to offer complementary services and increase our impact. We'll also work on organizing a fundraising event to support these new initiatives." The enthusiasm in the room was palpable, and the team was eager to start working on the new projects. Alex stood up and walked to a whiteboard, beginning to sketch out the plans and ideas he had developed. "I'd like to share a draft of the new initiatives we're planning," Alex said, pointing to the board. "Here are the areas where we want to expand and the goals we aim to achieve in the coming months." As Alex spoke, the team began discussing strategies and providing feedback. Collaboration and excitement were evident, and everyone was committed to growing the foundation and reaching new heights. After the meeting, Sarah approached Alex, looking concerned. "Alex, I wanted to talk to you about something. Recently, we've received some criticism regarding how we're managing our resources and the transparency of our operations." Alex furrowed his brow, worried. "What are the main concerns?" Sarah pulled out some documents and showed them to Alex. Some donors and partners mentioned they'd like to see more details on how funds are being used and the results we're achieving. "I think we need to improve our communication and transparency." Alex reviewed the documents and nodded. "You're right. It's crucial to maintain the trust of our supporters and ensure they see the impact of their contributions. We'll work on a plan to improve transparency and make our reports more detailed and accessible." As the team prepared to tackle new challenges and embrace new opportunities, Alex and Sarah began developing a plan to enhance the foundation's communication. They decided to create detailed quarterly reports and organize feedback sessions with donors and partners. At a community event organized by the foundation to promote the new initiatives, Alex gave a speech thanking the supporters and highlighting the foundation's achievements. "We're here today to celebrate the impact we've made together. Every contribution, every piece of support makes a big difference in the lives of the people we help. And with your help, we'll continue to grow and do good." After the event, Alex and Sarah met with some of the partners and donors to discuss improvements in communication and management. The response was positive, and everyone was optimistic about the new initiatives and the enhanced transparency. "I'm excited about what we're building," Sarah told Alex. "I believe these changes will further strengthen the foundation and ensure our mission continues to thrive." Alex smiled, feeling motivated and energized. "I'm excited too. We're building something lasting and meaningful. And with everyone's support, I know we can face any challenge and achieve our goals." With the team united and the commitment renewed, the Clara Johnson Foundation moved into a new era of growth and impact. Alex was confident that Clara's legacy would continue to inspire and benefit many lives, and he was determined to do his best to fulfill that mission. As summer turned into fall, the foundation was stronger than ever, and Alex was ready to lead the next phase of the journey, always honoring Clara's spirit and legacy. Fall in San Diego brought a sense of renewal and opportunity for the Clara Johnson Foundation. The foundation was thriving with its new initiatives and partnerships, and the team was enthusiastic about the impact they were making. However, a major twist was about to occur that would test everyone's resilience and commitment. On a rainy November morning, Alex was reviewing reports in the office when he received an unexpected call. It was from Marcia, the foundation's attorney who had worked with Clara to establish the legal documents and structures of the foundation. "Good morning, Alex," Marcia began, with a serious tone. "We need to discuss an important issue that has come up. It's best if we meet in person." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. "Of course, Marcia. When would be a good time for you? Can we meet at my office in an hour?" Marcia suggested. "I'll prepare all the documents we need to review." "Perfect. I'll see you soon," Alex replied, ending the call with a feeling of apprehension. When Alex arrived at Marcia's office, he found her surrounded by papers and files. Marcia greeted him and indicated a chair beside her. "Thank you for coming on such short notice," Marcia began, handing Alex a document. "We've encountered an unexpected issue with Clara's will and the foundation. We need to discuss some changes that could affect our future plans." Alex took the document, looking at the cover of Clara's will. What's going on? Marcia took a deep breath before explaining. It seems there's a legal dispute over the validity of the will. Clara's distant family is claiming a share of the inheritance and questioning the validity of the provisions made in favor of the foundation. Alex frowned, surprised and concerned. This could significantly impact our work and plans. What exactly is being disputed? The family argues that Clara was in compromised health when she made the final changes to the will and that these changes weren't properly documented, Marcia explained. If the dispute continues, it could affect the amount of resources the foundation receives and how the inheritance is distributed. Alex felt a heavy weight on his shoulders. How should we proceed? What do we need to do to protect the foundation? Marcia handed Alex a copy of the legal complaint that had been filed. We'll need to gather evidence that the will is valid and was executed according to the law. This includes witness testimonies and medical documentation proving Clara's capacity at the time. Alex examined the documents, his mind racing with the gravity of the situation. What about the foundation in the meantime? Do we need a contingency plan? Yes. You should prepare the foundation for possible changes in resources and consider how to continue operations with what we have now, Marcia advised. I'll do my best to handle the legal side, but it's important that you prepare for any outcome. Alex thanked Marcia and left the office with a sense of urgency. He knew he needed to meet with the foundation's team to discuss the situation and develop an action plan. The following afternoon, Alex called an emergency meeting with the team. They gathered in the conference room, the atmosphere tense and focused. Everyone, I have an important update, Alex began, with a serious tone. We're facing a legal dispute over Clara's will, and this could significantly impact the foundation. A murmur of concern swept through the room. Sarah raised her hand, visibly worried. What exactly is at stake? How could this affect the foundation? We're dealing with a dispute that could challenge the validity of the will, Alex explained. Clara's family is trying to claim part of the inheritance, which could impact the resources we have and how the funds are distributed. Maria asked, what are we going to do about it? We need to prepare for a possible scenario where the foundation's resources might be reduced, Alex said. We'll continue to operate with what we have and look for ways to adjust our programs if necessary. Additionally, we'll work with our attorney to provide all the evidence needed to defend the will's validity. The team was visibly concerned, but also determined. Sarah spoke up. We should maintain transparency with our donors and partners. It's important they know what's happening and that we're doing everything we can to resolve the situation. I agree, Alex said. We'll prepare a communication plan to update our supporters and ensure they know we're working to protect the foundation and Clara's legacy. In the following days, Alex and the team worked diligently to address the legal dispute. They gathered documents, prepared testimonies, and adjusted their operations to ensure the foundation's continuity, regardless of the outcome. During this challenging time, the foundation team remained united and focused, and donors and partners showed extraordinary support. The community was supportive and understanding, and the foundation continued to operate with a determination to preserve Clara's legacy. As the legal process unfolded, Alex stayed in constant contact with Marcia, receiving updates and adjusting strategies as needed. Although the future was uncertain, the strength and resilience of the foundation team demonstrated their readiness to face any challenge and protect Clara's work and mission. With everyone's determination and support, Alex and the foundation were prepared to face this major twist and ensure Clara's legacy continued to shine, no matter what the future held.